What if I told you two of the most iconic American fashion brands started with no fashion degrees, no rich parents backing them, and no guaranteed path to success? This is the story of Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger, two dreamers who came from nothing and changed how the world dresses forever. Let's start in New York City. Ralph Lifshitz was born in the Bronx in 1939. He grew up in a working-class Jewish family, sharing rooms, wearing hand-me-downs, dreaming bigger than his surroundings. Just a few decades later, another kid was growing up with a similar fire. Tommy Hilfiger was born in a small town in upstate New York. He didn't fit in. School wasn't his thing, but style, that spoke to him. Both men had the same problem, and they knew it. Ralph Lauren didn't start with clothes. He started with ties. While working as a salesman, he noticed something missing. Bold, wide ties inspired by old Hollywood and English elegance. No one wanted to sell them. He sold them himself. Tommy Hilfiger's hustle looked different. As a teenager, he drove to New York, bought jeans in bulk, and resold them back home. By 18, he opened his first store. It failed. Actually, it failed more than once, but neither man quit. Here's where they diverge, but also align. Ralph Lauren wasn't chasing trends. He was selling fantasy. Country clubs, polo fields, Ivy League campuses, a lifestyle most people didn't live but wanted to feel part of. Tommy Hilfiger, on the other hand, leaned into the youth culture, music, street style, confidence. His clothes were louder, bolder, more rebellious. Ralph sold aspiration, Tommy sold attitude. Different lanes, same destination. Ralph's big break came when Bloomingdale's gave him his own in-store shop, unheard of at the time. Soon, polo wasn't just clothing, it was American luxury. Tommy's moment came through music and culture. Hip-hop embraced the brand before fashion elites did. When artists wore Tommy Hilfiger on stage and on TV, the brand exploded. One brand was worn by presidents, the other by pop stars. Both became global icons. Today, Ralph Lauren represents timeless American elegance. Tommy Hilfiger represents bold, modern confidence. Neither followed the right path, neither waited for permission, and neither let failure define them. They proved the same truth in different ways. You don't need to come from wealth to create luxury. You don't need approval to build something iconic. You just need vision and the courage to stick with it. Two men, two styles, one shared belief. If you can imagine a world, you can build it. So let's start where Ralph is selling ties. So he's selling ties, but not the ties men are supposed to wear. They were wider, bolder, confident in a way American menswear wasn't yet. In the mid-1960s, after working in sales, including at Brooks Brothers, Ralph Lauren became a salesman for a necktie company in New York. He noticed that men's ties at the same time were narrow and conservative. He believed there was a demand for a wider, more colorful design. Around 1967, he convinced a Cincinnati tie maker, Beau Brummel, to produce his own line of handmade silk neckties under a new brand he called Polo, a name chosen because it sounded sophisticated and British. These ties were about 4 inches wide, compared to the 2.5-inch standard tie of the time, so I guess the skinny tie was in back then. The polo ties were vibrant Italian silk patterns, and they retailed for around $15, roughly double the price of typical ties back then. The wide, bold ties quickly became fashionable, especially in trendy Manhattan department stores like Bloomingdale's. He convinced top retailers to carry the Polo brand despite the initial resistance. Polo was established in 1967. Tommy Hilfiger jeans were established in 1977, so we'll start the story upstate New York, early 1970s. Tommy Hilfiger jeans were starting to sell, not in luxury stores, but in youth-driven shops where music, denim, and attitude blended together. His jeans fit differently. They felt current. They belonged to kids who didn't care about tradition. As sales grew, Tommy saw something Ralph didn't. Young people didn't want to dress like their parents. They wanted clothes that matched their lives right now. The jeans weren't refined, they were real at the time. By the late 1970s, Tommy Hilfiger's taken off. No velvet ropes, no department store polish, just kids, music, denim that felt right. These weren't like fancy jeans. These were made to be worn to concerts, to school, to places your parents didn't want you going. Every pair sold told Tommy the same thing. Young people weren't dressing for approval, they were dressing for fun, and denim was the uniform. So let's catch up in 1984. Ralph is already untouchable. Runways, department stores, respect. Ralph watches the younger designers come up, most copy, a few challenge. He notices one name starting to pop up. In 1984, Tommy rolls the dice and he puts a billboard up in the middle of Times Square. In 1985, Tommy's first company collapses. Money's tight, pressure's heavier, but then comes the real break. Backing from an Indian textile mogul, Mohan Murjari. With new support, Tommy launches the Tommy Hilfiger menswear line. Classic American prep, turned up louder, same roots, more edge. In 1986, the clothes start taking off. In 1987, hip-hop artists start wearing Tommy on their own. Oversized fits, big logos, no permission asked. Tommy doesn't fight it. He leans in. While others panic about image, Tommy sees the future of influence. By the early 90s, Ralph Lauren isn't just a designer, he's an institution. Polo is everywhere, but it never feels so desperate. Country clubs, college campuses, Manhattan sidewalks, quiet confidence stitched into every seam. While logos around him get louder, Ralph does the opposite. He refines. Cashmere gets softer, tailoring gets sharper, luxury stops shouting and starts whispering. America is changing fast. Music, culture, youth, but Ralph stays steady. He doesn't chase the moment, he outlasts it. The genius is in restraint. When everyone else competes for attention, Ralph sells timelessness. When the 2000s arrive, Ralph Lauren doesn't reinvent himself, he expands the universe. This isn't just about fashion anymore, it's a lifestyle portfolio. Purple Label for the elite, RRL for rugged Americana, home collections that make apartments feel inherited, not rented. By the mid-2000s, Ralph Lauren is global. Tokyo understands it, Paris respects it, America exported its dream, and Ralph is the translator. He's not competing with hype brands. He's competing with time. The 2000s proved the final truth. Ralph Lauren didn't just dress generations. He outlasted them. At the same time, Tommy Hilfiger is no longer the newcomer. He's a global logo. Oversized hoodies, baggy jeans, red, white, and blue everywhere. Hip-hop doesn't just wear Tommy. It helps define it. From music videos to mall shelves, the brand is unavoidable. The early 2000s are loud, flashy, confident, and so is Tommy. But fashion is shifting fast, streetwear is evolving, fits are changing, logos are shrinking, and Tommy feels the pressure. He experiments, runway shows, celebrity deals, European influence, trying to balance the heritage with hype.